I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with some uplifting stories across the country. First up, a 93-year-old in Central Texas is bringing joy to her senior living facility by tickling the ivories. It's something she's found joy in for decades now. And Kelsey Sanchez met with the pianist who is able to play her favorite songs directly from memory, despite a dementia diagnosis.
For Dolly Alston, music is a constant in her life. Through delicate fingers and pure love, this 93-year-old always finds her melody.
I love the piano. I really do.
Gospel music is usually her go-to. But Dolly always gains a rhythm through her year-round Christmas spirit. And she spreads the sweet sounds here at the Double Creek Senior Living Facility in Round Rock.
She's just been a blessing for us, and just her love for music has been really inspiring. And the fact that she's still going at 93, honestly, is amazing.
Dolly, however, plays these keys from memory.
With her having dementia, she hasn't lost the music. Before we even brought her here, I'd look at her and she would be moving her feet and stuff, and I'd say, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "I'm playing the piano." And so it's just in her. It's just in her.
And it has been since she was a little girl.
Coming from a musical family, my daddy could sing, but he couldn't play, But mother, she's always singing the church songs, and I learned to play simply by listening to her.
Her daughter, Gigi Harrison, says there are good days with Dolly and there are bad days. But here at the keyboard is where she remembers.
She still hasn't lost that part of her.
And will keep playing for as long as she can.
My goodness alive.
That is incredible. That was Kelsey Sanchez reporting. And now to a woman in Minnesota who is paddling with a purpose. She embarked on a long journey in a purple canoe. Now her goal, to paddle in all 50 states to raise awareness about Alzheimer's. Michelle Yeel has her story as she nears the finish line.
Seeing open water is just really uplifting, and knowing that spring is around the corner. We launched from right here, June 21st, 2021. My name is Wendy, and I have a project called the Purple Canoe. And what I've been doing is traveling to the states, raising awareness and funds for Alzheimer's, and I've worked with the Alzheimer's Association on their longest day campaign. Our 49th state was Oregon. Hawaii is the last. It is our big hurrah, and we are headed to Kauai. The Alzheimer's is a devastating disease, and my mom was impacted by Alzheimer's. My dad had Parkinson's. So when they passed, I kind of needed a project to kind of work through that grief. That's the Purple Canoe in the snow. This is 6/21/21. I think this was paddle 20. Got a little brief history here. We met some people from Switzerland. This was Mike from Idaho. Cindy let us stay at her campground for nothing because of what we were doing. And these are the paddles Frank and I have been paddling with for years, and they have been to every state. We're taking them to Hawaii with us. They have just been in lots of different waters across the way.
A little hard to get a canoe.
That was kind of a logical brain and an emotional brain conversation. And the logical brain went out that it's not over yet. There's still lots of paddles to be had. I think it's been a really good journey. So I hope it continues in one way or another, and I'm sure it will.
Wendy and her husband started canoeing in June of 2021. Their final paddle is expected to wrap up soon, 4 years after they began. Thank you, Michelle Yeel, for bringing more awareness to their mission. Alrighty, now check this out. This vast collection of items you see behind me is not valued in money, but in memory of years past. Renee Knott shows us how pieces left behind are now finding value in new homes in Missouri.
Inside this little Florissant home,
The house was built in 1919.
at the corner of North Jefferson and Washington,
I'd say it's a landmark.
it's as busy as, well, this toy duck in the wind.
They come in and they look around and they say, wow. They just keep saying wow, and we do too.
People picking through a vast collection.
So all I can say is thousands. Thousands.
Gadgets, figurines,
Well, I heard one comment yesterday, and I won't use the expletive, but it was something like, who would want to dust all of this stuff?
salt and pepper shakers,
It's fun seeing all the salt and pepper shakers again that we haven't seen since we've been kids.
and more.
She hung on to everything.
It's sort of a time capsule of items from days gone by.
We were kind of amazed by that.
All of it kept in good condition,
It was all clean and boxed up and labeled.
preserving many of the memories
She just treasured everything about Florissant.
of Florissant.
Those Florissant items we, for the most part, we have donated to Historic Florissant.
All of these things amassed by Elise and Ellen's aunt,
This was her love.
Norma.
Norma tried to get us to start collecting things, and we did for a short period of time.
After their aunt passed away,
90 years. She made it 90 years.
they put on an estate sale.
Tip our hat to the estate sale service. They have been wonderful. There was no way we could have done this on our own. No way.
Everything did not go out the door, though.
We took the items that were sentimental to us and that we liked.
But while Norma's collection will live on elsewhere, the sisters believe her true legacy isn't in the things,
She was very well known in Florissant.
but in the way she lived.
I hope that she will be remembered for the person that she is.
That was Renee Knott reporting. By the way, Norma had collected about 500 salt and pepper shakers. Woo. Alrighty, our next story takes us over to Maryland, where a coffee shop is making a positive impact in the lives of its employees. They are giving it opportunities to dozens who just need a chance. Sean Martinelli takes us to the community of Middletown to get to the heart of it.
Welcome to Beads and Dreams.
At this Maryland coffee shop,
Chai tea latte.
whether you order a cappuccino, macchiato, or Americano, all are served with a shot of Nectario.
Coffee is good, and it's good.
Nectario Sononis knows his way around a coffee machine and into hearts.
She's my angel.
An angel who arrived 25 years ago.
And I thought my world would be very different in a bad way, but it was very different in the best of ways.
That's Nectario's mom, Joanna. Initially, she feared her son's diagnosis of Down syndrome.
I regret feeling that way every day for the past 25 years. He's been a blessing. That's the gist of it. Sorry, I don't want to.
Joanna only wanted Nectario to find his place.
Yeah.
For years, he worked at his family's nearby Greek restaurant.
He always said he wanted something with his name on it, and he wanted a coffee shop.
Which brings us to Beans and Dreams, Nectario's place.
I am the CEO.
The CEO. He's running the show
He
here.
does. We have to reel that in once in a while.
As you can tell, Nectario does things his way, which leads us to the best part of this story. Most of the staff him and his family hire also have special needs.
That's right.
People like Nicholas Chamiak.
I am so blessed seeing Nectario every day. Awesome. And I've been so happy, and I appreciate what he does.
That happiness extends far beyond the counter.
My worst days become my best days. Everyone has a place here. At least we hope so. We try.
Knowing her son helped make that possible means to this mom
Everything. Everything.
This is my life. This is my home.
his life, his home, and his calling.
And have a good weekend.
I love that one. That was Sean Martinelli reporting. We have so much more ahead for you on Featured. Here's a look at what's coming up. Amplifying voices that often go unheard. We'll tell you how a musician is helping to spread their message. Plus, this is a fun one. Items left behind in Uber rides that just might have you scratching your head. And a little bit later, we are looking at a hometown hero A look at the humble beginnings of a MLB pitching sensation. Welcome back. All right, let me put my sports hat on for this one. We are highlighting two professional athletes that are dominating in their fields. First up, we are talking about Tarik Skubal. Now, baseball fans may know him for his exceptional pitching performance, which earned him a spot in the 2024 All-Star MLB game. But before the fame, Tarik was throwing strikes in his hometown in Arizona. Jake Garcia takes us to the place where it all started.
If you leave a town like this, nobody knows who you are. But grow up in a town like this, and everyone knows your name. Kingman, Arizona, a place that treats its people like kings, and a baseball coronation, a weekly occurrence at the local high school.
Kingman's Tarik Skubal inks big deal with the Detroit Tigers.
Bill McCord is the school's athletic director.
Baseball prodigy Tarik Skubal is a millionaire.
Tarik's baseball coach a decade ago, he remembers Skubal at the start.
He had a little baby fat on him. Not gonna lie.
And then Skubal as a senior.
This kid's the real deal. He just is. You know, my son was a pretty damn good ball player, went on to play college ball, but Tarik was the real deal.
Tarik took the mound for the biggest moments. A 16 strikeout one hitter to win the state title in 2013, a 14 strikeout perfect game in the first round in 2014. Memories still etched in the mind of McCord.
It was touching for all of us. As you can see, I'm tearing up a little, so it was kind of cool.
And taught like a graduation requirement to the rest of the school.
That's prom, little Tarik, young Tarik.
Tarik's former English teacher puts lecture on pause every 5th day. A Skubal star is mandatory in-class viewing for current kids.
We've actually moved our students from one room to another, put it up on a screen, and we all just watch the game.
A group assignment at the high school, but a solo, sometimes stressful experience right down the road.
I'm too tense.
Tarik's dad, Russ, is the principal at Surbat Elementary. He knows there's nothing elementary about watching his son pitch.
That's when he's at his best.
Tarik's so talented, he almost can't believe it.
It's still kind of weird to think that, like, he's pitching in a Major League Baseball game right now.
Like the rest of the town, time stops for Russ when Tarik toes the rubber.
When you have kids someday, you'll understand how hard some of this is.
A quick break from the game at the end of the school day to be a father figure to students.
Hey, did you have a good day? You didn't tell me you had a good day.
Back to being an actual father a few minutes later.
There's a part of you that it's not real. Like, how is this real? Like, how does my kid, how's he doing this?
How did a kid from Kingman become baseball's reigning strikeout king?
I knew he was kind of a big deal when some pro scouts were driving down to get to Phoenix for spring, and they stopped in Kingman to watch him do a workout.
It started with Russ moving the family to Arizona when Tarik was 12.
I got out of the car and went, because it was so hot.
His son's fastball was even hotter.
He came out of the womb that way.
One of the gateways to the Grand Canyon was Skubal's gateway to pro baseball.
I don't think Tarik would have ever been seen if we hadn't moved to Arizona.
It's not about what he's became, it's what he's always been.
Locals call a route like this historic.
I knew a long time ago that he was special.
A town where everyone knows your name, and now the world does too.
That was Jake Garcia reporting. Now we are heading to the ice where kids are celebrating the great H. You know, I'm talking about Alex Ovechkin, who recently became the NHL's all-time scorer. Chick Hernandez takes us to a special game where the hockey star is celebrating with some of his youngest fans.
895 Arlington Public School kids on a road trip to see the NHL's #1 all-time goal scorer, the Great Eight. First off, what is your name? What do you mean, You forgot your name?
Yeah, I forgot it.
How cool is this?
It's very cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I like watching the Capitals. He was trailing, what's his name?
Wayne Gretzky is his name. They call him the Great One normally. So I'm looking at this jersey, by the way. Doesn't look like a hockey jersey.
No, it's not, but here to support them, so.
All right, Will, you're 10-year-old. You're out here. I mean, wouldn't you rather be in class?
No, not really, no. I'd rather be watching hockey.
Are you just waiting for number 8 to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Because he's one of the best players, and I really want to see him play.
Naomi, let's be honest. Wouldn't you rather be in class?
No.
Well, it didn't take long for that one. As for the man of the hour, the area, the league.
It's great to see how the kids get involved for hockey. You know, they know this team, they know they know players, and it's very nice to be part of it.
895 kids, and a few more, if we're being honest, cheering, and they came prepared. No doubt art class providing a time for some signage. 895 screaming kids. I saw a lot of signs out there. This one stuck out to me.
I don't know. We'll see. Game by game.
All is quiet now as the students have gone back to, much to their chagrin, school.
Something tells me the kids wanted to stay away from school just a little bit longer. They were watching a legend in the making. I'm siding with them. All right, that was Chick Hernandez reporting. Now, if you're from the South, you know football is more than just a game. It is a way of life. It is taken very seriously down there. From high school fields to NFL stadiums, the sport is a part of the culture in Texas. Now, on a college level, there's the Texas Longhorns. Fans show their appreciation for the team in a couple of different ways, including one dad who wrote a children's book called The Longhorn Alphabet. Corey Moses shows us how the book is connecting families through a shared love of the game.
C is for champions. Texas is no stranger to trophies.
Every children's book tells a story.
D is for DKR, Darrell K. Royal.
But this one was written for Longhorn's former and future.
So my son and I, we started bonding over old Earl Campbell highlights, then go act out Earl Campbell punishing defenders in the backyard, me usually on the end of the defender getting laid out. And he wanted to find any book that he could that was written for kids about the NFL or about football, and he complained that there wasn't one of these about the Longhorns.
So Dad of the Year used his skills as a writer and created the Longhorn Alphabet Texas Football A to Z. R.T. Young was able to find an illustrator in Romania to bring his words to life while partnering with a lifetime Longhorn.
J is for Derek Johnson. J is for Johnson.
It warms my heart to see myself as an animation in Taylor's book, A to Z. It's kind of cool for my kids to actually see it too, almost kind of superhero-ish.
I felt like there would be a lot of parents like myself who were fans of the Longhorns, that were big fans of DJ, that now have kids that are becoming fans of the teams.
And just to give them that tradition and give them just some nuggets where they say, wow, I didn't know about this, or, you know, who's Earl Campbell, or who is, you know, Vince Young. I'm like, hey, let you know, just read this right here, you know.
I wanted it to appeal to kids who are current fans, so you know I had to make sure Bijan was in the book, so I got creative of how I included him and ended the book with him.
We got a lot of rich tradition that the kids nowadays need to pull back just to have more appreciation for what the Longhorns represent.
Hope it creates a love for reading, creates some cool shared experiences that go beyond the book.
That is awesome. What a cool way to show pride for your favorite team. That was Corey Moses reporting. Now it is time for a short break, but don't go too far. Here's what's ahead on Featured. A Night to Remember. A nonprofit is rolling out the red carpet so girls can wear their confidence at prom. We hear from the woman who is making it all happen, plus a Disney remix that parents can relate to. Oh, I love this one. We'll share one mom's spin on a Little Mermaid song. Alrighty, let's check out what is trending. Now, if you use rideshare apps, you know it's a good idea to check out the back seat and make sure you have all your belongings. Uber released its annual list of the commonly lost items, oddities, and the most forgetful cities. Let's get right into it. Of course, you know, wallets and cell phones made the list, but listen to this. The list also includes a chainsaw, 2 mattresses. Now, this one really threw me for a loop. A urinal. make it make sense. I don't know. Now, the top 5 most forgetful cities are New York City, Miami, Chicago, LA, and Washington, D.C. And Uber says most folks forget the most stuff on October 26th. I have a feeling that has something to do with Halloween celebrations. Alrighty, let's check out this next story. A woman in Iowa was looking for a way to honor and surprise her grandparents on her wedding day, so she took some steps back to her childhood for inspiration. Check this out. Lily Prenz repurposed the lemonade stand that they made for her when she was just 9 years old. Oh my goodness. It had been sitting in her parents' garage since she stopped selling lemonade as a kid. And while the wedding was in 2024, Prenz just posted the photos on TikTok and they've gone viral. She also says she is expecting her first daughter, who will, of course, inherit her childhood business. Oh, I love that one. Okay. This one will make you laugh. Parents, you know, you've probably spent a lot of time watching and listening to Disney movies. I know Mama Privet probably knows all of The Lion King word for word, but one classic gave one mom some inspiration, and now she is a viral sensation. Here's why.
I want to be where the grown-ups are. I want to talk without interruption. I need to, what's that word again? Sleep.
Oh my gosh, Haley Osborne made a parody of the song Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, a classic, to describe the day-to-day routine of a stay-at-home mom. Now, many viewers, of course, say they related to the line about wanting to be where the grown-ups are. And having a chance to talk to other adults. I know a lot of you guys who have kids probably relate to the line about sleeping too. I try to rescue my mom friends every now and then, get them some alone time with adults. All right, that is a wrap on What is Trending. Here's what's coming up next on Featured, a drawing assignment that colors outside the lines. We'll show you how students are turning these sketches into reality, and music is opening ears to people who are sometimes ignored. We listen to a choir that is shedding light on homelessness. With us here on Featured, I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you some uplifting stories from across the country. You know, a lot of folks tend to have stereotypes about homeless people, but there was one group in Texas that hopes to open minds to a different way of thinking with a musical. Sean Giggy introduces us to the Dallas Street Choir.
When Jonathan Pallant founded the Dallas Street Choir, an ensemble comprised entirely of Dallas's homeless, it wasn't for people to hear them sing. It was for people to simply hear them.
The stories that street choir members share are no different from those I've shared or you've shared or anyone shares. 14.
Stories he felt needed to be shared.
I'm not a politician. I'm not a social service person. I'm a musician who has a platform through music.
So he reached out to a composer, a guy he'd never met named Jacob Ryan Smith, and asked for a favor.
I like to call it the greatest cold message I've ever gotten in my life.
The message was actually an invitation to come to Dallas and listen. Jacob sat as choir members opened up.
We should feel that drop off.
He spent 2.5 years listening, writing, and composing.
If one or two of you want to do that,
all for this. An hour-long oratorio called Shelter Me, based on the lives of street choir members. The story follows a young man.
I see a tightrope.
Played by Darian Sanders from Broadway's The Lion King, who finds himself unexpectedly homeless.
My balance is lost.
300 singers from 3 choirs, including the Dallas Street Choir, will join the chorus. And although the street choir wasn't at this rehearsal, the first time Jacob introduced them to the music, you could almost hear their appreciation.
It's pretty amazing when an individual who is ignored on the street at 7 a.m. is receiving a standing ovation 12 hours later because of a musical piece that they've just performed. And it says something to that individual about their worth.
And if you listen closely, you'll hear, as the music fades, hope resonates. In Dallas, I'm Sean Giggy.
An absolutely amazing story from Sean Giggy there. And it was just the other day I was telling someone, you have to treat everyone with the same respect, whether it's someone on the street, you come across a janitor, or you're talking to the CEO of a business. Everyone deserves to be treated with the same respect. Now, as for the choir, they hope that they can debut their musical in New York City, and I would love for that to happen, especially for that young man who was in The Lion King on Broadway. Again, great story from Sean Giggy. Alrighty, now for many high school students, prom, it's a big milestone moment, but for some, the cost of attending can be a huge setback. You got to worry about the dress, the shoes, hair, makeup. For the young men, tuxes. Well, that is why a nonprofit in North Carolina is seeking solutions and helping these students with an unforgettable and empowering experience. Lisa Washington shares how.
The Prom Project by nonprofit Curvaceous Behavior started with family.
So a few years ago, my youngest sister, Jamie, was going to prom, and my mom financially wasn't able to help buy her a dress due to the COVID was ending, the pandemic. And I was like, I want to help as much as possible.
Today, it's on a mission to collect 100 dresses, ranging from sizes 00 to 26.
Curvaceous Behavior is a movement where we're able to make it where confidence is key, despite what size you're raised, but also empowering girls that really comes in all shapes and sizes.
During a one-day event called the Annual Prom Project, high school students, especially those from under-resourced communities, will have the opportunity to shop for free prom dresses along with accessories and shoes. Senior Alea Barton hopes the girls who have the opportunity to take part, just as she is, feel empowered.
The dress just makes me feel beautiful inside my skin, and on top of that, it took a little bit of stress off me, especially in the financing area, so yeah.
The event doesn't stop with the fashion. It also offers complimentary hair and makeup services, creating a true red carpet experience.
Whether it be new or gently used, it was like we're solving the problems for so many moms, but also for the girls where this is their last year going to prom because they couldn't go the year before.
I love that. That was Lisa Washington reporting, and those young ladies will most definitely have a night to remember. A former preschool teacher has created a space for kids and their love for toys. Courtney Courtwright explains how this provides a unique environment for children to play and grow.
I had a student who decided to borrow some classroom toys. I decided to roll with it and had all the children borrow toys.
What started out as an idea in former preschool teacher Hannah Bogdan's classroom has evolved into a community space full of toys on Main Street in Buffalo.
It's really about community here and encouraging high quality play opportunities for families, building the community, and encouraging sustainability in our play practices.
It's called the Buffalo Toy Library.
To provide this free open play space and this opportunity to bring the toys back and create play opportunities at home feels like a dream come true.
This free spot to play is filled with all different types of toys designed to spark creativity and learning. If children have a membership, they can even borrow some of the toys.
Play is how children communicate, it's how they explore, it's how they grow, and it's the most important part of their development that we need to foster.
But the impact of this toy library goes far beyond children's play.
It helps parents not have so much pressure to purchase things for their children while still being able to meet them where they're at developmentally by providing them with high quality play materials.
Materials that have all been donated by families throughout Western New York.
It's really been amazing to see how this circular economy is working in Buffalo. Buffalo families providing toys to other Buffalo families so that they can have really high quality play experiences in the home.
This is definitely a good way for families to make room in their budget for those pricey groceries or emergencies. And that was Courtney Courtwright reporting. Already some exciting news now for a group of students in Maryland. One of their experiments has been recognized by NASA. There were over 700 submissions and just 60 winners made that esteemed list. Caitlin McGrath caught up with the students who are getting their experiment ready to send to space.
Focus on it at like a 2D so we can get rid of one of the panels.
Yeah, so this is how much is going to be taken up here.
Aishata King and Halal Gabrielde are two members of the team hard at work figuring out how to send this into space.
Like this.
Yeah. So we decided on seeds.
Inside that tiny box, they'll send seeds 75 to 90,000 feet into the stratosphere to see how they hold up against radiation and extreme temperatures.
Our hopes is that in the future, NASA can look back at our results and maybe implement new ways of sending stuff into space.
The winning teams each receive $1,500 to build their experiments, a flight box to house it, and technical support from an organization called Future Engineers.
This is not only for students who have experience with soldering or programming, it's for students who've never done this before in their life. There's mentorship provided to help them learn these skills so that they can actually build their payload.
We're going to try to solder our sensors and solder them to a circuit board so that we can send our data back to us and we can actually see the live footage of our, flight box.
That flight box will travel through the atmosphere with the help of a high-altitude balloon.
The whole project is supposed to fit here. It's supposed to weigh less than 1,000 grams, so that is just the biggest issue, the weight of it all.
And these students are learning lessons beyond just math and science.
Every day we're trying to get closer to a bigger goal. It's like a little plan-out sheet, except each step of the way isn't boring. It's very fun and exciting.
The goal is to provide them hands-on experience, but it's to expand the realm of what they think is even possible.
And that mission was accomplished.
To be honest, I never thought that the NASA Tech Rise would actually pick us.
How cool is that? Not everyone can say they've sent something to space. Congratulations to those students. And that was Caitlin McGrath reporting. Now, the creepy, crawly creatures you see in cartoons, this is pretty cool. They are coming alive in a classroom in Texas. Every year, Brian Ketchman teaches sewing to his theater class. I've always wanted to learn how to sew. And every year he followed the same pattern until one student suggested a change.
Why don't we have elementary school kids draw a picture and we could sew them for them?
So here's what he did. He reached out to teachers, including his wife, Trista, who came up with the fun idea. Her first grade class was currently reading books about monsters, so she asked them to draw one.
And we made our own little monsters, as simple as we could make it. Some of them were very detailed.
I got mine and I couldn't even make out what shape it was supposed to be.
Turning the drawings into reality. It seemed a bit terrifying, but nevertheless, the students sewed away. And when they were done stitching seams, Ketchum presented each first grader with a stuffed version of their drawing.
But look at that.
It was a time of my life. I never got to get something like that. I got a new iPad, but this is way cooler than my new iPad.
Hey, we love to hear it. Get them away from those screens and playing with something and with each other. Now, the word has gotten around town about the sewing project, and now teachers from all over the district are begging to join the monster collaboration. Oh, I really love that one. Alrighty, let's head over to North Carolina now, where creatives gathered under one roof to show off their best Lego art. All I know is stepping on them. That's all I know about when it comes to Legos. Photojournalist Ramar Thomas shows us how it's inspiring folks of all ages and skill sets.
For anybody, we all have creativity that lives in here.
He gets hurt.
Lego is a good way to bring out that inner creativity. Well, it's got volcanoes coming down. I create things and I create a story to go with them. And everyone knows about Star Wars, they know about Minecraft, Ninjago, different things. So I had a little different touch to it where I make up a story to go along with it. If you only knew the power of the dance floor. And everybody wanted the power, now they're out there dancing.
Well, how did they be like, this is crazy. As far as building pieces one by one, it kind of makes me feel confident I'm going like in the right direction.
That looks so cool.
The fact that I'm here and like being surrounded by somebody that's like able to do something like this, like inspires me to kind of like keep going like where I'm going, and like everything takes one thing at a time, piece by piece, in order to like get to where you want to get in life.
Now, are you the Emily that was in Harry Potter?
No.
If you talk to most people about Lego, they're going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you right now. I love Lego, and I love other people that build Lego, and I love everybody that's at these shows. They mean the world to me.
That is awesome. Thank you for bringing us that story, Ramar Thomas. Coming up next on Featured, caught on camera. Oh boy, an unexpected guest breaks into a restaurant in St. Louis. We hear from neighbors out there about the run-in. Okay, get a good look at this. A wild break-in at a St. Louis business has been the talk of one neighborhood out there. The reason? The suspect's daring demeanor. Robert Townsend says the culprit was caught on camera. Let's check out the video.
It was one dandy of a day at the Gin Room in South St. Louis.
There is a deer in the dining room.
That's right. Just after 11 Wednesday morning, a deer darted through the front glass window at the restaurant near South Grand and Wyoming Street.
Hi, little fella.
The startled chef was the only worker inside at the time.
Stop, stop, stop.
No way could he stop the unexpected visitor he caught on video with his cell phone.
A deer busting through your windows might make quite a large crash. He thought someone was breaking in. Thought it was a human.
Owner Natasha Barami says the disoriented deer ran around their 42-year-old family-owned business.
Spent much time throughout the dining room here.
The intruder then tried to hop over their bar.
It wanted its breakfast martini and was trying to get served.
Dozens of dogs live in the neighborhood, but no one has ever seen anything like this.
Certainly not this far into the city.
I'm blown away.
Think he's looking for Rudolph?
Yes, definitely.
How about Bambi?
Bambi over Rudolph.
Neighbors tell me there were actually 4 deer roaming around this area at the time. The Gin Room's owner believes the one that caused all this damage to her business might have been spooked by traffic.
We also have our video from our surveillance as well, which shows that the deer was here for approximately over 10 minutes.
I think it's absurd.
How did it get here?
No one knows.
That's sad. It looks very scared.
The Gin Room's chef finally helped the scared deer out of the big hole it left behind. Do you think it's still around here?
I would not know.
Perhaps this creature has a clue. What do you think? Where's the deer? Robert Townsend.
This is definitely one for the record books.
Oh my goodness. Not the perhaps. All right, now it seems like the restaurant owner is, taking the deer surprise in stride. Here's my suspicion about why they're not, thinking this is a big deal. They probably have seen some human people cause a lot more damage or act way worse in that same space. So the owner says she was relieved the animal was able to escape and that no one was injured. Alrighty, look at this next one. Oh my goodness, what a mess on the roads. Who needs a beach when you have a spring storm? I guess this man, you see that on the corner of your screen? He was captured wake surfing on a flooded highway in Arkansas. Blaine Wagner got out on the road in Jacksonville, which had been hit with some heavy rain and storms out there. His friends drove a jet ski and recorded the footage, which has since gone viral on social media. Wow, don't do that, folks. All right, look at this. This 21-year-old traveler boarded the wrong boat in London. Now, it's surely something that would make most folks a little anxious, but not for Evan Johnston. He got the experience of a lifetime. He wanted to take a peaceful cruise to see London's historic sites, but instead, he accidentally boarded a party boat filled with South End United soccer fans. The rowdy group took him under their wings and even got him a ticket for the game. Wow. Now the fun didn't stop there. The team welcomed Johnston back for a private tour and a chance to meet the players. So he got way more than he bargained for. And I think it's safe to say the South End United soccer team just got a new fan. Alrighty. Now, many folks are pretty familiar with those electric scooters that you see out and about in larger cities. But now, the University of Maryland is working on a way for the scooters to drive directly to people. Jacqueline Quinn shows us an exclusive look at the prototype.
Meet Peter Parker. No, not that Peter Parker. This one's an electric scooter. It might look simple now, but this could be the next big thing you order up using your phone. Currently, he moves slowly but deliberately. That's the point.
Lots of testing and lots of development, yeah.
Abrar Sayed is a grad student at UMD, helping Peter Parker see the world around him. Think of it like a spidey sense.
What is this black stuff again?
The obstacle.
So why make a scooter that can drive and park itself?
One of the inconveniences about shared scooters is sometimes they're not where you need them. The self-driving scooter, it can reposition itself to come to you or to park automatically.
Derek Paley is leading the research team.
Parks itself safely and without the nuisance that we see sometimes when scooters are left on a blocking sidewalk.
Peter is one of 3 prototypes. The others, Richard and Ben. Yes, they're Parkers.
We also think this is a game changer for shared scooter operators because they can minimize their logistics.
However, before this project can get picked up for commercialization, students have to finish testing all the software and hardware. That includes 2 cameras that work like eyes.
Why can't we have one eye? Because if we can perceive the depth if we have 2 eyes.
It could take some time, months to years.
They call us scooter guys.
But the team behind Peter Parker believes you're looking at the future.
Oh, we are getting closer to living like the Jetsons. All my old school cartoon fans know exactly what I'm talking about. That was Jacqueline Quinn reporting. Coming up, look at this. This Chili's restaurant is one of a kind. We'll tell you how the restaurant is paying homage to one popular comedy series. Alrighty, we are heading over to Dixon City, Pennsylvania now, where a new Chili's restaurant opened. Now you may be thinking nothing special about that, but this one was specifically built to resemble the Chili's that was used as a recurring setting in the hit TV show The Office. And as AD Iyer shows us, fans were lined up out the door waiting to take it all in.
1, 2, 3, Chili's!
An iconic set from a beloved show finally becomes a reality 20 years later. On paper, it's a brand new Chili's in Dixon City, but walking inside feels like stepping back to 2005, just like how it was when Michael Scott presented his first Dundie Award in the hit TV show The Office. Fans from near
We're from Scranton.
and far
We're from Yorktown, Virginia.
came to the grand opening of the Office-themed Chili's.
We've had guests all the way from West Virginia, Western Pennsylvania, Ohio, like all over the Eastern Coast. So it's been pretty amazing. I think the furthest we've talked to somebody driving is about 6 hours to get here today.
The Chili's was packed throughout the day, full of fans wanting to celebrate the show and the location's grand opening.
Pretty crazy to see all these people in here to come in and like celebrate and just be here and enjoy everything.
Dude, it's been crazy busy. So we had opening at 10:45 today. We had a line out the door. We immediately filled up the entire restaurant, and it's been full like this the entire day.
It's also the only Chili's in the country to serve one of Michael Scott's favorite throwback menu items.
The Awesome Blossom is unique to this particular location only. So we had this for many years. We took it away early 2000s, and we brought it back for this opening.
Some fans say it feels like they got to take a step into the world of The Office.
It does almost feel like we're part of the show. Absolutely. Yeah. Feels like we're going to get a Dundie Award, but for being here, I don't know.
Alrighty, that was AD Iyer reporting, and that is it for Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.